In H5 Day 1, we're revising that the letter C may say S if it's followed by an E. So let's colour that in all these words. We've got C-E saying S. So the E is making the C say S on all of these words. Okay, so colour all of those in. And the reason we use CE for the sound at the end of a word, and you can see most of these have the CE at the end of the word, is quite often when we have SE at the end of a word, it's saying Z. We don't usually use Z at the end of a word for the Z for the Z sound. We quite often use SE for the Z sound at the end of a word. So that's the difference between the CE is making the sound at the end of these words. Now, these words, sometimes you can see too, we've got another rule coming in where the E is making the previous vowel make its long sound. So there's a consonant in between and the E is making that say A, and the E is making that say I, and the E is making that say I. Okay, so sometimes we spell words differently to show that they mean different things so people don't get mixed up when they're reading and writing as to what the person is saying. So this cent means the coin, the cent. We have 100 cents in a dollar. We can have a 10-cent coin, a 5-cent coin, a 50-cent coin. So the other cent is this, and that means where you've sent something to a friend. We also have another one, but we haven't learnt this one yet, and that's scent, meaning the smell of something. This sell here, you can also have sell where you give something to someone and they have to give you money back. So that's when you sell something for money, you give something away for money. This cell could be like a prison cell, or it could be one of the cells in your on your skin or in your body that make up the parts of your body. Grace, some people say a little prayer or thanks before a meal, which is called grace. Grace could be a person's name, but if it was, we would give it a capital letter. And it could also mean to move smoothly or effortlessly. So you'll see ballerinas will dance beautifully with a lot of grace. So moving very smoothly or effortlessly. It seems effortlessly, but it's usually very, very hard. Brace could be braces to hold up a pair of pants. You could have braces on your teeth to help put them in position. And sometimes if you break a leg, you might have a brace put on your leg to keep it nice and straight and to protect the way you're moving. Dance means to move around gracefully to music. Dancing can be quite vigorous too, but it's moving to music. Prince is usually the boy child of a king or a queen, and he is usually titled with that before his name, like Prince William, Prince Harry, and the daughters would be princesses, or his sister would be a princess. A slice, you might have a slice of pizza, it means a piece of. It can also be a verb where you might slice up a loaf of bread, so it's something you can do or it's a thing. Twice means 2 times. Fence is something you put around your property to, perhaps if you're on a farm, it keeps the animals in or out of an area, and some people put it around their house to keep their pets inside their yard or to keep people out of their yard. Spice might be a chili or some flavour that you add to food to make it taste even better. Okay, so let's read the word, sound the word, spell the word, and write them. Don't forget, cent is a root for 100. So when we have a century, that means it's 100 years. If we had a centipede, pede means leg, so centipede means an animal with about 100 legs. So cent, apart from meaning money, it can also mean it's a root for 100. Okay, so let's go. Cent, 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 C-E-N-T, C-E-N-T, C-E-N-T. Say the word C-E-N-T, say those letters as you go. And it's quite hard because if you just sounded that, you would probably write an S there. That's why we sound it and then we spell it to know that we're using a C for the sound because the E is making it say S. So cell will be C-E-L-L, 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 C-E-L-L. So C-E-L-L, and you know if it's a short word with a short vowel sound, it ends with L, we've got to put 2L. So that's a bit of revision there for you as well. You can finish the rest of the... This is H5 day 2, and we're looking at the letter C where it can say S. So if a C is followed by an E or an I or a Y, we know it's going to say S, not K. So colour the CE in all of these words, and then we'll go through and sound them and read them. So we know whenever we see CE at the end of a word, it's going to say S. And when we see SE at the end of a word, it usually says Z. So we know if we want the sound at the end of a word, we commonly write CE. But if we want a Z at the end of a word, we commonly write SE. So let's read them, sound them, spell them, write them. So we've got sent, C-E-N-T, cover it and write it. We've got cell, C-E-L-L, C-E-L-L, cover it and write it. Now sometimes we have words that sound the same but are spelt differently, and that's quite often to show that they mean different things. So you have sent spelt this way, which means I have like a 10-cent coin, but this sent, if you send something to someone, the past tense would be sent. This cell is like a prison cell or a cell on your body, in your body, but if you sell something at the shop, you use an S usually, so they mean different things. Grace, as we said before, is when you, some people say a prayer or a thank you before a meal, so they say grace. And it can also mean to move smoothly. And it could also be someone's name, but if it was someone's name, we'd give it a capital G. A brace is something that you'd have on your teeth or on your leg to support them, or some people use braces to hold their pants up rather than a belt. A dance is moving to music. A prince is usually the son of a king and queen, and his sister would often be called a princess. A slice is a piece of something. It can be something you do too. You can also slice up bread. Twice means two of something. Fence could mean the fence around your house, but it can also mean fighting with swords, and it's a sport that some people still do. Spice is the flavouring we add to a food when we're cooking or baking something. So you can finish reading, sounding and spelling those words. Fill in the word under each picture here. Fill in the sentence with a list word. The boy has a 10 coin, cent coin. Make sure you write the right word in for cent, C-E-N-T. So those words up there will help you with those sentences. Fill in the missing word in the sentence. So we've got sent as in where you send something to someone, and cent as in cent is a root for 100. So we know there are 100 cents in a dollar, or if you're talking about a century in cricket, we know that's 100 runs. So here cent could mean like a coin. Sell is, this sell, remember, means the money sell, where you sell something for money, and the other cell is the cell in your body or a prison cell. So that might help you fill in those last 4 sentences. Okay, this H5, day 3, is where we're revising where the letter C may say S. And it's quite often, if it's followed by an E, we know that it's going to say S. So we've got sent, sell, grace, brace, dance, prince, slice, twice, fence, spice. So you should have coloured in the CE in all of those words. Now we're going to go back and read them, sound them, spell them, and then copy them, write them, and then check. So we've got scent, C-E-N-T, cover it, write it, then check if it's right. Now it's very important that you do sound these words to work out what are the sounds that you need, and then you have to search for the letters that are making the sound in these words. So we know that the C is making it soft sound S in these words because it has an E after it. If it has an I or a Y after it, it would also make it soft sound S. So you couldn't just spell that word without sounding it. You can't sound it without spelling it. You need to sound it, then spell it so you know you're writing the correct letters for that word that you need to write. Plurals. Fill in the space with a plural. The ice cream costs 60. Now you know you have to use one of these words up the top. And when we're talking about plurals, we know we're either adding an S or an ES onto the end of a word. When we have ES, we know it's saying is. So be careful. Work out. If you hear S, you know you're just adding an S. Okay, the ice cream costs 60 cents. So we're only hearing us at the end, so we're only writing the letter S at the end of that word. You can finish these ones on your own. Verb families. Now, some of these words can also be verbs. So she is something at the ball. You can see there's a picture there to help you. She is dancing at the ball. So the E goes away when in comes to stay, and we know luckily when we have CE or CI or CY, it makes the letter C say S. So we're quite happy with putting an I after that C to keep that sound happening. Make new words gracefully. You have to write the word and take out the little addition signs, and don't leave a space between, a big space between the letters. Join them up to make one word. Gracefully. She danced gracefully across the ballroom. H5 day 4, we've got a crossword for you to do, and here we're talking about adding ER to the end of a word to indicate someone who. So someone who shops is a shopper, someone who runs is a runner. So can be used at the end of a word to say someone who. So we've got cricketer, driver, fighter, joker, minder, miner, rider, shooter, dancer, fencer, holder, marcher, runner, riser, thrower. So let's have a look at what the crossword is asking. These ones are going across, so number 5 would be number 5 across here. And one down, where's the one box going down, would be here. So let's see if we can do the first one in each, one going across and one going down. So Kate was in the show as she was the best. Now it has to be one of these words. I'd say she was the best dancer. If it's a show, it indicates that it's a singing, dancing thing. Dancer. Oh, that's lucky. That fits perfectly. Now, number 1 down. The something drove slowly along the road. Remember, it's got to be one of these words. So I would say it's probably driver, D-R-I-V-E-R. Yes, that fits. Sometimes it's worthwhile checking before you write the words in. Now, once you've used a word, cross it off, because then you know you're not going to use that one again. If you get stuck on one, do all the others and then come back to that and you'll see which words are left, and that may help you with any of the trickier ones. Okay, off you go. Enjoy that.